Hello, folks. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers. Hope you have a good day. Remember to like and to subscribe. That will help our channel out. We're going to start doing a lot of short videos, but we're not going to put them on shorts. If you are fighting the Republican versus Democrat war, you're not in World War III. You're in a fictitious war that does not exist and never has. As Bill Clinton said it, they took low-level Democrats, put them in the Republican Party. The media built them up, and once they were built up, they were voted in as Democrats, as Republicans. But they were still Democrats, just now they were in Republican clothing. Now, one of the things that has happened, and you have to understand who is who and who is fighting on which side. The Biden administration was full of globalists, deep staters, and so on. And they brought in what is being said about 20 million illegals, but there was actually closer to 26 to 28 million illegals that were brought in. They were put on the government dole. Now, the problem with this is that as long as these illegals are in this country, the economy cannot change. What are the two economies? Well, the first one is the globalist economy. Tax you to death and inflate you to death so that you have no disposable income to work with. Now, that doesn't hurt everybody, but a lot of people that are on the lower end of the income scale are literally being destroyed by the economy. The economy needs to switch over, and the only way to do it is to get rid of the illegals. There's two groups of illegals that are in this country. Some were released from insane asylums. Some of them were released from prisons and other places of that nature. And then there were some that were cartel members and various other groups and organizations. All of them globalist in nature, all of them fighting on the side of taxation and inflation. The other side is the alliance, and what they want to do is they want to flip the switch so that taxes are almost nil. In fact, sales taxes would essentially be about it. And the other taxation would be tariffs. That's why the External Revenue Service is in place. It does two things. Number one, it keeps the government's hands out of the kitty. The only people that are allowed to have their hands in the kitty would be a few people who were carefully selected in the Treasury Department, and that's it. Everyone else, including the Congress people that are constantly stealing money out of there through USAID and some of these other programs, would no longer have a right to have their fingers in the pot. And the other thing that would happen is that the government people, the Congress people, presidents, and all of those elected officials would have term limits. So when they were done, somebody else would have to take over. And this would happen all the way down to the local level, where people would have term limits. And that's going to be good for the American people. As far as the illegals go, there are some of them that are decent people that came over with the other people that were not decent. Unfortunately, a lot of them are not decent. They're from cartels. They were released from prisons and sent. They were released from mental institutions and sent, and all of these people shouldn't be here. A lot of them, when they go back, are going to have to go back to the mental wards. They'll have to go back to the prisons. And those who are cartel members, they will be dealt with and probably imprisoned as well. But the other people have to get back to their country, because the only way they can participate in the new economy is to get the card that is going to be necessary. That card is actually going to replace the banking system. The banking system will eventually go down. As I told you a few episodes ago, that Nelson Rockefeller said he doesn't care who makes the laws as long as he controls the money. That is a telling thing, because of the fact that the globalists did in fact control the money. Now the alliance is going to make sure that the money is controlled through the Treasury Department. There will be nobody in the government that is going to be allowed to handle the money. And so the money is no longer going to be stolen. And that was the importance of having Doge come in. Now, Doge was originally set in place by Barack Obama, but it wasn't ratified and brought into being something that was used. And so President Trump made sure it did get used, and it has helped, because they have found a lot of problems with the way the money was being spent. And so that is what is going on now. They are in the process of bringing the money back into the Treasury Department. The people that stole the money are now having to give it back. One of the things that they have to do, besides resigning from their posts, is that they have to give the money back. Now, some of them are going to, if their crimes were not great other than theft, they may not be made public. But if they had crimes against children, if they were selling children, if they were doing treason and sedition and all these other things, it's going to add up. There are some people in Congress that have 15 to 20 counts of treason alone. Well, those people are not going to be allowed to just get away with it and retire and be done. They're going to have to face that. They're going to be going before those grand juries. They're going to be indicted, and then they will go to trial. And most of them then are going to wind up going to prison. Some of them will probably be executed, and there may be some people that you have voted for, 20 times, that are going to be put away because of the fact that their crimes were so heinous and so evil. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers, and I want you to have a good day. A good day always starts with good prayers, and if they reach the throne of God, that's going to be your key. You're going to have a good day. And so with that being said, you folks have a good day.